Raise your hand if this is you. You've been thinking about starting something for months, maybe even years, but you have bills, you've got a mortgage, maybe you have kids, so you wait. You wait for the right time, wait until you have more savings, wait until you feel ready. Meanwhile, you're watching 25-year-olds launch businesses while you're stuck in analysis paralysis. Here's what nobody's gonna tell you that I'm willing to say. The lowest risk way to start any business is while you still have income. Maybe that is an investment property, maybe that's a job. Whatever it is, you don't need to wait until it's gotten to a fever pitch and you've decided to have a dramatic exit before starting your business. Today, I'm showing you businesses you can start right now with your 9-to-5 intact, your reputation protected, and your sanity preserved. If we're just meeting, hi, I'm Ayana. I co-founded a company while I was working at Google. For 2 years, I ran both. Testing, building, learning what worked, all while collecting my paycheck. When Google laid me off via email after a SoulCycle class, I didn't panic. I was ready because I had been practicing. Now I help corporate women do the same thing. Choose strategy over struggle. Building scalable businesses without burning bridges or blowing up their life. And here's what I learned. The women who succeed aren't the ones who just quit with no plan. They're the ones who build quietly, strategically, and they start before they have to. So let's talk about how to do that. I think most corporate women think that entrepreneurship requires quitting your job, a perfect business plan, a big idea that changes everything at once, but none of that is really true. I hate to see this happen, but it happens all the time. People go for the big risk businesses first, and I don't really understand why. The riskiest businesses are the ones that demand everything up front. Physical products with inventory, brick and mortar locations, businesses that require you to quit because it requires all of your time. The least risky businesses, low startup cost, flexible hours, skills you already have, revenue that you can test before you scale. That's what we're talking about today. I want you to think about making business something that is a really tiny area where you can be a beginner again while you have the comfort of your 9-to-5. Just try it on for size versus dreaming into having something that requires all of your time, all of your energy, and all of your cash up front, because frankly, you're not ready for that. Okay, here's the first idea. Business consulting. If you have 10 years in corporate in basically anything, especially strategy, operations, product, or leadership, you can absolutely consult, especially consulting for a high-value, well-funded startup. And this is low risk because there's no inventory, no overhead, and you're selling what you already know. You can start with just one client and see what happens from there. Here's how you can start. You literally can reach out to 5 people in your network and say, hey, I'm opening up a few consulting spots for insert specific problem that you solve. Would you be open for a conversation? When you get one yes, you know that you've proved your concept. They were interested enough to hear what you have to say. This works great for women with deep expertise in a specific domain who can solve problems executives will pay to fix. Time commitment wise, I would say maybe 5 to 10 hours a week to start is what you would want to allocate to this type of business. Now let's go to business idea number 2. Fractional executive work. If you're a VP level or higher, companies will pay you to be their part-time CMO, CFO, CPO, COO. And the reason why it's low risk is because it's leveraging your existing expertise and things that you've probably done that are harder than what some of these startups are doing. You can often start this as an advisory, so there's no conflict of interest with anything that you're doing or other companies that you might be talking to. So you can advise a CEO of a startup on how to actually build out a marketing strategy, right? Advise them on how to build out their product strategy. And then as that relationship grows, you can become their fractional C-suite. This is a great option because you can command pretty high hourly rates, like $150 to $500 an hour, and a super flexible scope that's on your time. You can structure it such that you are the person that they go to when they have a crisis or an emergency, or you work on specific deliverables with them over a set period of time, so you can slot them into your 9-to-5 work. How to start this? You could join a fractional executive platform like Bolster or On Frontiers or Topdol. There's so many ones out there, or you can just simply go to your LinkedIn and see what companies might be out there who don't have other titles besides CEO, right? Observe if the company only has a founder CEO and there's no one else in the C-suite, that person likely needs help and hasn't quite asked for it yet. So reach out to them. Pitch directly to these startups, the ones that seem like they're missing a C-suite and can't necessarily afford a full-time executive team, and offer your services. This could work great for any senior leader who wants extra income or a step into professional independence, wants equity in these smaller companies and flexibility without starting from scratch. Time commitment wise, I would say that this one could run you around 10 to 15 hours a week per client. So I'd be careful about scope creep here and be really intent about your boundaries with working with startups. Business idea number 3, corporate training and workshops. If you're great at presenting, networking, facilitating, teaching skills, this could be an incredible side gig for you. Companies will pay $5,000 to $25,000 for a single workshop if it's solving a high value problem. The reason why this can be low risk is because it's a one-time delivery model. You can do it on weekends or on a Friday. It builds your personal brand. It's easy to test with free webinars at first, and you can even start it by just picking one topic that you could teach in 90 minutes. Offer it for free to a few companies, get their testimonials, and then start to charge after that. This is incredible for women who love being in front of rooms or in front of the camera and have a methodology that they can teach. It could be something that you built within your corporate environment for your teams, something that you built that was for a client, and now you're repurposing the skill set, not the content, the skill set, so you can make it into your methodology that you teach to others. Time commitment wise, I would say this is something you can prep once and iterate on it using AI as an incredible tool. You can deliver the same thing multiple times, and that could probably run you maybe 5 to 10 hours a month after the setup in terms of commitment. That brings me to business idea number 4, digital products. You might have seen a lot about this online. If you've built spreadsheets everybody copies, decks that people reference, processes that teams follow, you can absolutely package and sell them. And the reason why this is low risk is because, again, you can create it once and sell it forever. No ongoing delivery. You can start with one $29 product, test demand before building or scaling it. How to start this is by looking for what is already being sold on the market in this range of what you do. That lets you know what people are actually willing to pay for. And then you do something to make it better. Maybe you put yours into a video format. Maybe there's an audio element in addition to what you're putting into the digital product. Do something that adds a little bit of expertise on top of what people are already asking for and already buying online. Maybe this is something that you've already created for work in your 9 to 5. As long as it's non-proprietary to you or your clients, you absolutely can clean that up and sell it on platforms like Gumroad, Notion, or even your own website. This business could work for women who are systems thinkers. They love creating frameworks. They're the person that people go to say, hey, can you help me map this out? You're doing it anyway. So why not do it to test out professional independence and an additional stream of income? Time commitment, these can take time. 10 to 20 hours maybe to create the thing, and then ongoing 2 hours a week for marketing it. I hear that Pinterest is a great place for marketing digital products. I personally haven't done it myself as yet, but I've seen a lot of different types of products marketed there. So I think that's a good place to start. You also can market it on LinkedIn. You can pitch it directly to people who you think are asking for it. There's different ways to align the marketing. For this particular one, marketing is going to be key, and really learning how to find your people and continue to serve them. The marketing is what's going to turn a dead PDF into something that's actually making you income. So I will say that that is the trickiest part with the digital product concept. Now, this brings me to business idea number 5, which I've seen a lot of women in corporate transition into, which is executive coaching. If people already come to you for advice, whether that's for career strategy, leadership, navigating corporate politics, you can charge for that. You're now an executive coach. There's lots of different credentials that you can get and certifications that you get if you want to be certified to be an executive coach in a corporate space. But if you want to do executive coaching based on your experience and your level of expertise for startups or other entities, you absolutely can do that right away. Why this is low risk is because coaching can happen before work, after work, on lunch breaks, on weekends. It really doesn't require you to have a certification if you're not gunning for big corporate agency level clientele. There's also high margins in this area. There's 100% profit, right? After your platform fees for marketing yourself, or if you decide to get certified after you cover that cost, you can start with 1 to 2 clients and be making instant profit. Great way to start here is to offer 3 free strategy sessions, ask for testimonials, and then start charging $200 to $500 a session after that. This works really great for women with 15 plus years of experience who love helping people think through big decisions. Time commitment wise, I would say an hour per client, maybe 30 minutes prep, 6 to 8 hours a week once you have 3 to 5 clients. Sounds pretty good to me. Now, this is for my executive level ladies. This one is content creation for partnerships. So if you can write, if you can speak, if you can create content, brands will pay you for that. And I'm not talking about the general content creation stuff that's happening online. As a seasoned professional in the corporate environment, you have a coveted level of expertise that cannot be replicated on TikTok. And so people are looking for folks who can write real thought leadership on LinkedIn, speak at conferences, create educational content on behalf of their brand or their corporation. And that's something you can explore doing. Why it's low risk is because you can do this on nights and weekends. You can build your personal brand online. To be seen doing this is helpful even if you want to stay in corporate. It opens doors to sponsorships, affiliate income, speaking fees. It's an incredible way to get your foot out of the door of corporate as a high-level executive using your personal brand to bolster you. In terms of how to start, if you're really truly starting from scratch, I would say pick one platform, either LinkedIn or YouTube, and just start posting consistently. And when I say consistently, I mean every single day for 90 days. Never skip a day, even if you're just posting a photo saying, I promised myself that I was going to post every single day for 90 days. This is me showing up. That counts. Once you've done that, reach out to brands, other companies, community-based organizations, and tell them about your expertise. Help them to see how you can be supportive of their goals, making sure that the partnership is mutually beneficial, and tell them about the things that you want to be able to write for them or represent for them, and start from there. This works really great for women who love teaching and have strong opinions that are worth following. The time commitment is probably around 5 to 10 hours a week for content creation and making sure that you're staying consistent. Online community or memberships. So if you have a specific niche and expertise people want to access, an ability to facilitate conversation, maybe you've had a really incredible story. Maybe it's a story around your health, your upbringing, something that other people can anchor on and really would want to fellowship with you on around this particular topic. Okay, here's why this is low risk. You can create recurring revenue models, and also you can create content for your community that is not live. Do it whenever you can. Start with a few members to have a proof of content, low overhead, don't need to charge a whole lot or anything at all at first. You can use Substack, Circle, Mighty Networks. There's so many different platforms. School is another one. So many different platforms right now that you can use to get a community going around a story, around a concept, around a shared experience that you all have. The way I would start this is by creating a free community first, using a newsletter, a Slack group, things that are pretty low fidelity, super easy to get up and running, a Facebook group, even if that's where people are. Make sure you're adding value for people for about 60 days. And then invite 10 people to be the founding members in the paid tier. This is really great because it works for women who love facilitating connection and curating resources, and it allows you kind of ramp into it, right? Starting a community might feel a bit haphazard at first, but it can be really awesome in terms of people coming together, helping you, sharing their thoughts, sharing their experience. And then as you go into the paid tier, it starts to be something that can build on its own. And before you know it, you've got this recurring revenue that you don't have to do much to maintain. Time commitment wise, I would say that this could probably run you around 10 hours a month after your initial setup, depending on how much you want to be involved. Here's what I hear constantly about starting these businesses. But Ayana, I don't have time. And you're not looking for time. You're looking for permission. You have time. You're on Instagram for an hour a day. You watch Netflix on the weekends. I'm not saying that these things are bad, but I'm saying that the time exists. You just haven't made a decision about what you want to do with it yet. And that's fine. But let's just be honest about what's actually happening here. It's not really the time that's stopping you. It's the fear that it won't work. Fear that people will judge you, fear that you'll fail publicly. Here's what I want you to hear me say. The highest risk thing is to keep waiting until you're desperate. It doesn't matter what people think about you. They don't live your life. The lowest risk move is starting now and starting small, using a couple of those hours that are whisking away on Instagram right now, testing demand and keeping your job while you figure it out. Do it in the safe space while you have that option. Now, here's something you can do right now. Pick one of these businesses from the list, just one. The one that uses your skills, your talent that made you a little bit curious, solves a problem that you understand, and feels less like starting over and more like reassigning your expertise, realigning it to something else. And then test demand before you build anything. Just talk to a few people and say, do you think this is something that I can do? What do you think that I'm really good at that I could share with others? At this stage, there's no need for you to be pitching anything. Just ask people, if I were to offer this thing, would that help you solve this problem? And if 3 out of 5 people say yes, you have a business. Your next step is simply to build the minimum version of that, the minimum version of solving that person's problem and getting it out there. If this video helped you see what's actually possible while you're still employed, here's your next step. Just don't watch and do nothing. At least think about which one of these businesses or what kind of business could light you up. And then consider joining the Promoted to Founder Getaway. It's a 2-day immersive experience where we take exactly what we just talked about and move it through a strategic exit plan. When you come to this getaway, you're gonna leave with a business model design, legal and financial structures in place, and brand strategy that positions you as an expert where you are. And you'll get a community of women who are doing the same exact thing, making their plans for the future to go from corporate to professional independent. No more research, no more someday, just strategy, supported action, and a community that really understands what you're going through. The link is in the description. And remember, you don't have to quit your job to start building your exit. You just have to start. I'll see you next time.